Hello, everyone. Let us ask ourselves a question today while we are preparing for our CISSP certification. Why is port security with sticky MAC important? First, it protects against unauthorized access. That is, port security prevents unauthorized devices from connecting to your network. If an attacker tries to plug a rogue laptop into an office switch port, say in an empty conference room or an empty port which is available in a common area, the port will block the device if its MAC address isn't recognized. Second, it reduces insider threats. Sometimes risks aren't always external. An internal employee might try to bypass the security by connecting unauthorized devices. Port security helps mitigate this by enforcing device level access controls. Third is it supports incident detection and response. With violation logging, which is in the restrict mode, you get alerts when someone attempts unauthorized access. This early detection is crucial for responding quickly to physical security breaches. And the fourth, it is used for easy device management. Sticky MAC allows automatic learning of devices, making administration simpler. You don't have to pre-configure every MAC address. The switch learns and locks in the first legitimate device. Now the question still remains, how does this help with CISSP concept clarity? Implementing and understanding port security using sticky MAC addresses helps clarify several CISSP concepts like topics such as defense in depth. So the port security is a layer of protection at the network edge, complementing other controls like authentication, firewall, and monitoring. Physical security, which highlights the need to secure physical network access points, not just the software. Access control models, which demonstrates the principle of least privilege. Only authorized devices can connect, which will minimize the attack surface. Then port security is a classic example of a preventive technical control, stopping unauthorized access before it happens. By binding specific MAC address, you also ensure only trusted assets are on your network. So device identification topic. And then it also reduces the risk of attackers gaining access to sensitive resources by plugging into the network, which helps you with that understanding of the topic of data breach prevention. And finally, monitoring and logging, where we learn about violation alerts and logs, which are enabled and they help in ongoing monitoring, which is a key part of CISSP in the operational security. So in short, learning port security with sticky MAC isn't just about switches. It's about seeing how practical controls directly implement the theories you will be tested on in CISSP, especially defense in depth, least privilege, preventative controls, and physical security. And this understanding will bridge the gap between your exam concepts and the real world application, making your CISSP knowledge more actionable and memorable. Now, let us get into a detailed step-by-step implementation using Cisco Packet Tracer to create a virtual lab environment for demonstrating how this port security with the sticky option works. And this aim is to prevent unauthorized devices from connecting to a physical NIC. For this, let us set up a lab. Okay, now we will take a pause here. Let me explain you about the 5 commands that you see on the screen. The first command is switch port mode access, which puts the port in access mode, allowing all the VLANs through the switch. Then you have switch port security, which enables the port security for other configurations. Then you have switch port security maximum 1, which only allows one MAC address, that is one device, that is one network interface card. Then you have switch port security MAC address sticky. Now here, the sticky allows the switch to dynamically learn the first MAC address and stick to it on the port. And the last one is the violation. If it violates, you restrict. So there are multiple options. You can shut down the port, you can restrict the port. So in our example, we are shutting down the port. Now violation restrict means that unauthorized MAC addresses will be blocked and logged, but the port won't shut down. But in our example, we have used violation shutdown, which will shut down the port and stop any activity. Let us continue. So finally, this whole exercise prevents bad actors from plugging in their own devices. And this is a very simple, effective way to secure your switch port in any network. Thank you for watching.